8 o'clock on the dot. You are now in the spot. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to get it lined up nice and good here so you can see some background stuff. So you don't have to look just at me the whole time. You can look and see what's going on back in the back there. Let's see. Todd's with us. He said he likes the 8 o'clock much better. Yeah, Todd, I think I do too, man. I don't feel as rushed as I usually would at 5 o'clock. Now, when I started Break On Through a few years back, 5 o'clock was fine. But then we had 2 years ago, well, a year ago. He's 2 years old. But then when you know, our grandson Coleman came, him and his mama came to live with us. It just made more sense to do it later because, you know, he loves being with his pawpaw, and he would try to get in here while I'm trying to broadcast. Yeah, there's been a lot of them where you guys have heard him outside the door. But someone was calling my phone and it interrupted the broadcast. Now I gotta set this all back up again. What the hell? Man, just be patient with me, y'all. I want to try to get the repo shirt in there a little bit so that some people will have a meltdown. There we go. There we are. Oh my God! Oh! All right, here we are. Back live. Hey, you remember this? I cannot thank Adam Neal enough for this item. I love it indeed, Adam Neal. I have a feeling this will probably make its way to the 40th anniversary show. Which, by the way, is only 3 weeks away. 3 weeks. We've been talking about this all year, and here we are. Man, it's right getting ready to close in on us. Man, we are very excited. And for the first time ever in my life, I'm pretty damn near prepared for everything. Like, I got everything done, man. I think there's a few things coming in merchandise-wise that I still have to price, roll, and arrange. But other than that, man, we're just about there. I'll tell y'all something. I had a terrible day yesterday. Terrible day for the working class man. Oh, by the way, I see Clinton Zilla is here. And I want to let Clinton Zilla know that in this Sophia Loren coffee mug, let me move my finger. Can't move it enough again. Anyway. In this Sophia Loren mug, I am drinking some of your received today homegrown chamomile tea. Because I'm drinking to forget. No, I'm drinking to get sleepy. Because when I get out of here, After I sign off in a little bit, I will be putting on my essential CPAP mask and settling down for a nice evening's rest. After the day I had yesterday, rest is something I need, son. You hear me talking to you? I'll tell you what happened. 4:15 in the morning, and I'm headed to work. Now my car's been making a knocking sound, and I have two mechanics that I work with exclusively. I work with Smokey over at Affordable Auto down in Rock Hill, and my main, the Jeep expert, John Adam, in Raleigh, North Carolina. You say, well, damn, you drive 3 hours to get your car worked? Yeah, I would, because I would use it as... see, my brother and I don't get to see each other nowhere near enough. And so whenever I hit car trouble, I go to Raleigh, I go to John Adams' place. He has his own business. He works on... if you're in the Raleigh-Durham area and you need your car worked on, I'm telling you, John Adam is the man to see. Now, John, if you will give me your work ID and your work number and all, man, I'll post it right here in the body of Break On Through, because I only endorse businesses, bands, films, and all that stuff that I personally put the unimpeachable president for life, the long-haired weirdo stamp of approval on. And I'm going to name a few of those businesses before I sign off tonight. I'm getting up ahead of myself here. But I'm headed to work, man. And my car's been making a knock, and I took it to my man down at Affordable Auto in Rock Hill. And Smokey just looked at me and he said, Jeff, he said, that sound is so deep in this engine. He said, now, we can tear this engine apart. He says, well, I'm telling you, it's time for you to start considering getting you something else. Because I'm going to tell you what, y'all, I put 285,000 miles on that Jeep Cherokee Sport. Now, I didn't put the whole entire 285, but when I got it, it had 120,000 miles on it. So you do the math. You know why you got to do the math? Because I don't feel like it. So I put right at 285 miles on the thing. Well, anyway, okay, I'm going to work. 4:15. Hardly anybody on the road, thank goodness. I mean, that thing, it's knocking more than it had been. Like, pop, 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 pop. I'm like, damn, man. That is awful loud. And then they go, I'm like, well, maybe it'll warm up, you know, it'll quiet back down again like it was yesterday, Sunday. And, man, the more I'm headed to the interstate, the faster I go, the further I go down the road, man, that thing, then I get a chorus of pops. Bang, 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 bang. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't know about that. So I'm just like, I think maybe I better turn back and go home. So I did a U-turn. Right, instead of going down the exit ramp to get on I-77 South, I made a U-turn and head back to the house, which is only about, at that point, I guess 3 miles. And I started going up the hill, man. And now this thing sounds like a popcorn popper. I'm like, I crossed the main road that I was concerned about being stuck on. I crossed it, and now, man, I'm only about a mile from the house. And that's when it was a done deal, man. It was over with. It was done. It just went tick tick pop 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 pop. So now we're looking at about 4:20. That's when my day went from bad to worse. I come to a crawl. I put the car in neutral real fast. I'm able to get it to go just a little bit more than I thought I was going to be able to, but then it just stops. So I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm only about, 3/4 of a mile from the house. So I'm just like, man, at this point, not only am I kind of nervous, but I mean, there's hardly no traffic on the road, so I'm not that nervous. But I'm just like, well, I can't leave this thing right here on this main damn road. So I got to get it off. So I open the door, man, I hop out. Here's a 60-year-old man at 4:20 in the morning pushing a car down the road. I had a few people say, well, didn't anyone stop and help you? I'm like, at 4:20 in the morning? And they see me pushing a car, they'll figure I stole it, for one thing. And no one's going to help me. And so, man, I'm hoofing it. And I am pushing and pushing and pushing. And then I would get it to where, it'd get going a little bit. I had to jump in the car, and I'd be able to guide it. And and then it would come to another stop. So I had to get out, push it some more. This time, we're looking at about 4:40 now. And the cars are starting to pick up. Well, I'm pushing the damn car, and here they come, man, around the corner. I got to jump in the car. Man, I go to jump in. I did not give myself enough clearance. I thought I was going to knock myself unconscious. Oh, yeah. Boom! I was like, God, oh my. I was like, I would have been laying down on the road and get run over. And, but, I finally make it. And I push, and I push, and I push, and I get it to my street. I get it to the street I live on. And I turn that wheel, man, and I'm pushing in there, and I'm getting it. And it comes to a stop again, because now I'm looking at an incline. And at the top of the incline is a speed bump. So I'm like, well, if I'm even able to get this up the incline, I don't think I'm going to be able to push it over that speed bump. Not being that at that slant, So man, I gave it the old preschool try, and I start pushing, man. And I am soaking wet, sweating. It's humid as hell out there, man. And I'm pushing this car, and every time I would stop to get my footing, it'd roll back on me. So I'd have to, no time for catching your breath or getting your footing. Now you got to just keep going. After about 4 or 5 times of that, I was just like, fuck this. I just got in the car. And in a weird sense of urgency, I'm a 1/4 mile from the house now. I'll call my wife. You got to come get me. I'm just thinking, oh, damn, I could have walked a 1/4 mile back to the house. But for some reason, and after it was all over, said and done, I was like, I'm really sorry I woke you up. But she's like, you're in trouble. You got to call me. And she is that kind of woman. I'm not going to take that away from her at all. But I really felt bad later about waking her up. But she was only going to wake up 20 minutes later anyway. So, I don't know. But she's a beautiful, beautiful woman. And I'm so grateful to have her. And so I call my co-worker, Will Tanner. I'm just like, yeah, I ain't really making it in today. We had to make some arrangements with stuff we had going on at work. And so I have to call roadside assistance. And them some bitches got to come get us into record to move my car a 1/4 mile. The guy finally showed up. I said, yeah, man, you let me know, and I'll come up there and wait on you. And when you're on the way, and he called, he started hooking the car up. I said, man, I promise you, this is going to be the shortest trip you have today. And he started laughing. And he's like, I said, I'm telling you, it's right over that hill. And he was, he took it. It's in front of the house now. I'm going to sell the car as is. It's a 2001 Jeep Cherokee, and I see Herbert said oil leak. There was an oil leak, but I was keeping a close check on the oil to make sure I wasn't, getting too low. And I mean, like I said, both my mechanic, well, John didn't look at it, but my guy down in Rock Hill did, and everything, it was fine oil wise. And I kept checking it. John told me to keep checking it. But man, when those knocks started, it's like I checked it then, and I was only about a quart low, and I filled it back up. It just had all it was going to do. I was really hoping to get it to 300,000, but I guess that was not to be. So now I'm really stressing the hell out. How am I going to get to work, man? I'm working class. I'm not casually wealthy. I can't just hang around the house until something else falls in my lap. I got to make things happen. So I had a little money put aside. I don't have a little money put aside anymore. But fortunately, my good friend Dave Weincoop, who is a manager at CarMax, was able, and I want to tell y'all something, man. I ain't had a car payment in 30 years. I always would buy a car straight out from somebody. Or I get a hand-me-down from somebody. Hey, man, you had this car, $800. Okay. Drive it until, I drove the hell. And I drive the hell out of a vehicle now. But, man, at 60, I'll be 60 in November. At 59, and I'm using 60. I'm ready for some shit that don't keep breaking down on me. So, thankfully, Dave Weincoop, on his day off, came by and picked me up, took me to CarMax. We worked out something, man. I go pick up my new car tomorrow. It's new to me. And this time I am opting to get a car created by the superior country, the great country of Japan. I will now be driving a Nissan Versa. Yeah, I'm getting something a little smaller. Because I drive so damn much, man. I drive all the time. I drive here, there, everywhere, up, down, city, town, country, lake, river, stream. I drive it all. It's not a dream. And I just wanted to get something good on gas. If I need to haul anything, both the girls have, SUVs. And, but me and Dave Weincoop were looking at things like, man, this is deceptively roomy in here. So I may be able to get along with it. And it's a black car. It's going to be black. I've never had a black car. I wonder if it comes with a pair of shades. But I want to thank Dave Weincoop for pretty much saving the day. And I also want to thank the good Lord for watching over me and not letting me get killed by taking that thing on the interstate. Man, we were talking about all the things that could have happened had I chose to go on and not go home. And it could have been quite bad. When I woke up this morning, I was getting my bearings, and I was just kind of waking up, and I was just like, did yesterday happen? And I realized, yes, it indeed did. the bright spot at the end of the day was I gave Coleman his Curious George t-shirt that I ordered for him and his Spider-Man bedroom slippers. And man, you'd think I handed a teenager $1 million. Because I swear, man, I've never seen so much happiness on a little kid. And it made me and the First Lady just beam with joy. So it was a perfect end to a rotten day. And the First Lady had her own issues of BS going on all day long, man. So, yeah, it was quite a day. Now, don't worry. I'm not going to sit here and plead for everyone to please help me with my car payment. No, I ain't that kind of guy. I will say this, though. Order some stuff from Big Cartel. Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness gracious. And I will tell you this. The Radiation Sunburst edition of Great Disasters, the all-new ANTiSEEN LP, man, it is getting dangerously low. I have a few right over here that I've got already packed up to take to the 40th anniversary show. I have a feeling those are not going to be coming back with me. And I've got a small, when I say small, let me listen to me, Pope John Paul. I'm talking about a stack of about like this. A Radiation Sunburst. If you want a Radiation Sunburst from old JC, then I suggest you get it now. Can you dig it? You know, I want to thank some other people. I want to thank Clinton Zilla. Are you still on here, Clinton Zilla? Man, thank you so much for that homegrown chamomile tea. It's doing a number, man. I love it. I got me a bag of hibiscus in with the steeper. And man, it is creating a taste sensation like you ain't never ever seen. I had a few things to talk about, but damn, I took up some time with that little tale of intrigue. Hope you guys thought it was entertaining. I know you really would have thought it was entertaining if you go riding down Tavola Road at 4:30 in the morning and saw me pushing that damn car. I was going to talk about some more singles. Maybe I'll squeeze in a few single talk before I sign off. I got about 20 more minutes. I could do something. But I just wanted to talk about the anniversary show, man. I am really looking forward to this, and you folks, man, we've kept a lot of stuff under wraps, so we don't want to spoil the surprise. But this is going to be a show that we put on like you have never, ever, ever, never, ever seen. And we've got a lot of lineups represented, and man, we just this past week we practiced with Steve Sadler. Man, it's the first time I have played with Steve Sadler in probably 30 years, and possibly maybe a little less, maybe. But it was a lot of fun, and man, I'm really looking forward to getting on stage with all these guys. Doug Knight. You know, and Trent McNeil's been kind of, you know, he kind of stays in the fold pretty often. If I ain't having him as a guest here on Break On Through, you know, we just did the Here to Ruin Your Groove broadcast a few months back, which you can still see. It's still up on the ANTiSEEN Facebook page. Matter of fact, I might repost that somewhere so people can get a second gander at it. Before the anniversary show. People have been asking me, is the anniversary show going to be streamed? Now, we haven't really thought about that. The thing is if we stream stuff, we usually don't tell nobody until like it's happening, and that's if we can find someone who will walk around with a camera. Man, I don't like a stationary camera at the back of the room. I just think that's a boring visual. It doesn't capture the energy of the show. Now, if there's someone who may want to do a few songs throughout the night and go live for us, man, this show is going to be long. I don't expect anybody to walk around with a camera. I mean, you talk about ANTiSEEN's probably going to play for 2 hours. We got 6 lineups. We're playing 40 songs. Now, you might be going, oh, damn, that sounds like being off on Saturday and going into the job, man. No. We promise you the time will fly by because we are going to rock it, sock it. We are going to knock your robot, knock its block off. I'm telling you, it's going to be a rock and roll hoochie coo like you ain't never seen. And the action is going to be non-stop. Now, of course, we're going to pace it. That's how you do. You pace it. But you better believe at the end we are going to knock you over the head with some Destructo rock. You probably won't even remember the last few songs. But, man, are you playing from the earliest tracks all the way to the new track? Nope. Man, I'm telling you, you can sit there and come up with 400 different scenarios that you think the set list is going to be like, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to be wrong. We didn't make a complete historic ANTiSEEN show. We did not make a, in release order of the material we're doing. It's hard to explain. There's no exact order it's going to be in, but it's going to be very orderly. Does that make any sense to you? I mean, just like my my post said for this week's break. I mean, you got to tell me something. Herbert asked if Bowman and Keller will be there, the new blood lineup. They will not be included in this anniversary show. There's no way we could get everybody. It would have been great, but not very feasible. I mean, this is the first time Steve Sadler has ever been involved in one of the anniversary shows, and Doug Knipe, other than when Doug was a member. And the last show Doug played with us was the 25th anniversary show. I may be wrong about that. I don't think I am, though. Did Doug play the 30th? Man, I really don't remember. No. Barry Hannibal was our bass player at the 30th. So, yeah. Doug's last anniversary show was the 25th anniversary. Mad Brother Ward will be back to play a set with us. Mad Brother Ward's only been out. I guess he's been out of the band now for over a year. Got out his own single. Got out his own LP. He's going to come back and walk the boards with the guys who brought him to the dance. To quote Joey Styles at ECW. So, even though you may say, well, they didn't do they didn't play that. Man, we are not trying to make a completist ANTiSEEN show for 40 years. We are trying to make it a fun show. And it's going to be. I'm telling you that right now. From the damn way we have planned to begin the show to the way we have planned to end the show, and all the nice fruit filling in the middle. like a good old South Carolina peach pie, you are going to be awestruck. Can you dig it? Now I got to be mean a little bit. I'm gonna tell y'all something. There ain't gonna be no guest list. Too much work is going into this. Too many people need to get a little bit of scratch for their time and effort. So there ain't gonna be a guest list. If you ain't working or you ain't playing, you're paying. And I'll tell you something, man. This is something that has irked me from the beginning of playing music. The guy that does not want to pay to get in, but says, hey man, I'll help you guys carry in equipment, carries in a cymbal stand. Motherfucker, we can get in our own damn cymbal stand. We can get in everything. And you ain't getting in free for opening the fucking door, okay? Or holding the door open. I used to have people that would come up to our show and be looking in the window. We come out, hey man, what's going on? Oh man, I didn't have any money, but I just come up here to support you. You came up to support me by hanging out in the damn parking lot like a vagrant? You support me by going to the door and paying whatever the cover charge is so that we get paid. I said it time and time again, we are not a government-free service. Are you able to dig that? So, all you guys that are contacting me that I had not spoke to in 30, 35, in some cases 40 years. Hey man, remember back in like 87 when we did this? Man, how about get me in on that damn show? No. No, I'm not going to do that. What about the people that tirelessly work with us and for us and have been for decades, doing a lot of times some very unthankful jobs? And you know, most of those people, if we said, hey man, everybody's got to pay, they do it. But I'm gonna tell you something right now. We ain't charging our wives. We ain't charging our children. And if you think your role was more important than that, and you should not have to pay a cover charge, stay home. That's one less person I will have to argue with. Because I'm not going to argue with anybody. Man, not only am I making sure you have a good time, I'm going to have a good time. All the boys on stage are going to have a good time. We're there to have fun. We're here to celebrate the world's greatest rock and roll band. 40 years, never a breakup, nonstop. The death train kept rolling. Had to pull them to the station a few times for a little bit of a tune-up. But unlike my Jeep, 40 years, still rolling down that track, and it's clicking, it's clacking, it's making some noise. But it is at full steam ahead, even more powerful than it has ever been. Can you dig that? And you might say, damn, Jeff Clayton, you're sitting there bragging, man. You're dragging and bragging. In parts, you're probably sagging, man. You're sitting there bragging, talking about it. And I'm going to tell you something, though. It ain't bragging if you can back it up. And we can back it up. Damn, that's some awful big talk from me there, old JC. You're talking some big stuff. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Come to Ground Zero September 30th. Spartanburg, South Carolina. Pay the cover charge. Come in. Let us prove ourselves. Not that we have anything to prove, but we're going to prove ourselves. How about that? Greg Crawford says, no iron if you ain't buying. That's the damn truth. Let me see. I'm probably missing some good comments here. Oh, Phil Keller's here with us. He said his last show was after the 30th anniversary. Yeah, the 30th anniversary was not Phil or John's show, last show. Let's see what we got here. Any more good thing? That's right, Walt, prepared to be dazzled. Razzled and dazzled. All right. I mean, I guess I yammered on too damn long. I don't have time to talk about singles and stuff. Let me see. All right, you know what? I'll talk about something right now. I should probably censor this. If not, the Facebook morality team will probably censor it. So I'm going to censor it for them. You know this record right here? See that? Y'all know about this one? Psycho Killer back with Heavy Mud on Jettison Records. I'm pretty proud of this single. But I'll tell you something. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. And you know, some of you might go, damn, Jeff Clayton, you're getting soft in your old age there, Hoss. But I'm going to tell you something. If I could go back and do it again, I would not have put out that cover. I think it was juvenile. I think it was disrespectful to the Warden family. And that's just not the way I am these days. This is when I was younger and doing stuff to shock. Didn't really care. But I'll tell you what, you get a different perspective when you visit the grave of the guy who did this and realize that that lady, who was someone's mother, she was someone's wife, she was someone's daughter, possibly someone's sister. She's buried right down there. It's real. It's not something that you just poke fun at and giggle about and think how cool it is. I know some of y'all probably think, oh man, damn, Jeff Clayton's gonna downer on us right here at the end. But you know what? I ain't no serial killer worshiper. I've done my share of putting those assholes on a pedestal, but I don't do that anymore. And if I could go back in time, if I could turn back time, I wouldn't have put that cover out. I'm just telling you some truth. I'm laying some truth on you. Y'all want truth? There, I just laid some on you. How about that? Damn, serial killers are cool. You know what I think they're cool? if they put them on a cooling board after they've had them in the electric chair. That's when I think they're cool. Now, no, look. I know some of y'all out there I'm friends with, man. And I know y'all collect this stuff. And, you know, man, I am not shaming you. I'm not coming down on you. To each their own. I'm just telling you my personal growth. I see my main Walt Wheat there says serial killers are fucking cowards, and I agree with that 100%. And so you will never see Jeff Clayton or anything Jeff Clayton is associated with putting cowards up on a pedestal. Just not going to do it. I don't care what kind of street cred I lose because I don't care about the streets. I don't care about the country. I don't care about society. And I'm not trying to sound like some crust punk here. I'm just telling you this. I don't care for this world, man. I don't like what this world has become. Oh, I do care about the country. I care about the United States like you would not believe, but apparently a lot of those in charge do not. And shit, I'm not going to get too deep into all that. You guys know you know where I stand. And I'm not gonna get into it. I tell you what though, Clintonzilla, this damn chamomile tea is doing a number because old JC is about ready to do like King Kong did on King Kong versus Godzilla when they fed him the berry juice. Oh, I do want to tell y'all something. You know, last week, I think it was last week, did I tell y'all about my brother playing with Driving and Crying? Did I go into that at all? I mean, someone's got to tell me something. I know we're on a little bit of delay here. I'm going to watch and see if I talked about it. If so, I won't go into it again. I will tell you this, though, man. It was really great sitting and talking to Kevin Kinney for a little over an hour, man. So many things we have in common. We can both drink coffee and go straight to bed. We both claim and agree that a CPAP changed our lives. Man, I'm telling you, I can't tell you how much it changed my life. But yeah, it was great. So, well, I don't see y'all telling me anything whether but my brother got called to play 3 shows with Driving and Crying. That's one of his favorite bands, especially since the Ramones are no longer with us. They're probably his favorite band. And I don't know, maybe I'll go all out on a limb and make another full-time drummer. I can tell you this, I have a feeling it's going to be my brother. And they would be doing themselves a great favor of getting a great drummer, one of the best drummers in this country. I know, I've played with some great drummers now. Great drummers. But I've talked about that before too. Here it is about 10 till 9. Everything is fine. It's $75 wine. You go ahead and sign off, listen to a little Patsy Cline, but do not whine about what goes down. That's the thing about it is, that whole day I had yesterday, I didn't whine one time. I didn't think I cussed much. I probably cussed much. But I didn't lose my shit. And I am notoriously infamous for losing my shit. I'm glad some things can indeed change. Well, I guess I didn't talk too much about music tonight, but I'll tell you, you know, since I got me a car payment now, I will be moving a lot of my own personal collection here, my ANTiSEEN collection. That includes the test pressings, some of the original artwork and stuff like that. Now, I know some of you have reached out to me about it, but I'm gonna say this right now just to get it out in the open, okay? I'm not gonna be cutting any deals on that stuff. It's the last bit of the things I have. So I have a price. That's what I want for it. There's about 6 of you guys out there that love them test pressings. And y'all always want to talk about test pressings, and I'm going to start going through everything and seeing what I got. So that'll be coming soon. I got a shitload of them. Not a shitload. I got a bunch. Let's just put it that way. Well, I hope you guys were entertained tonight. Hope you had a good time hanging out with me. It seems like it went by real quick. Man, I really appreciate. I appreciate it every week when y'all come by and hang out a little bit. Listen to me yak, talk. So, yeah, there's not much else to say except, hey, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Malcolm Tent's Facebook page is going to be a new edition of Tent Talks Tunes. And man, me and Malcolm had a talk the other day, and we're penciling in having another Clayton and Tent episode of Tent Talks Tunes. And I know he's happy that Break On Through now starts at 8 p.m. because for him this is bright early morning for him. He's probably sitting there eating some alfalfa sprouts and some kind of vegan sausage. Probably still in his pajamas and socks. How accurate am I, Malcolm? I see you're on there. Maybe eating some. Yeah, he says it's right around lunchtime, so I'm wrong about that. Okay, but 3 weeks away, y'all. 3 weeks. And man, listen, y'all really need to hit my direct message box. I know some of you. Well, damn, I gave you 10 ideas. Man, keep giving me ideas of what stuff you want to hear me talk about, because I don't know what you want to hear about. I'm telling you, anybody can contact me and say they want to talk about anything. And I told you I was going to start writing them down. I have some of them, but I need more ideas, man. I need to have an idea that when I hear the idea and it hits me, I'm just like, oh, I can talk about that. You know, I know about all this, and this. So yeah, that's what I need. I need your encouragement is what I need. Can y'all dig that? All right. Once again, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me, and I will see you next week right here at 8 p.m. on Break On Through. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a fantastic week. Have an even better weekend, because then after that, you know what we are? We're 2 weeks away from the 40-year ANTiSEEN anniversary show. It's going to be something. Even Bigfoot's excited about that. Listen to him.